Hi, I'm Warren Sprouse. You're on the board. You're on the Bible Forum. I want to talk to you tonight about something we're hearing a lot about and we're not hearing a lot about. This comes from a website called endoftheamericandream.com. Apparently, although we're not being told with any kind of regularity, if at all, there's a serious drought in the western part of the United States. The drought has apparently surpassed what scientists thought was possible. Some areas of the Southwest went more than 200 straight days without any measurable rain last year. Vegetation is disappearing at a frightening pace, and giant dust storms are becoming increasingly common. Now, it's not a real surprise. It might be to you, it was to me, but it's not a surprise in general. Scientists have apparently known about dust bowl conditions, and they know they would or could return. For years, they've been warning that the droughts in the Southwest were getting worse. For years, we've been warned that dust bowl conditions could return. You heard that, didn't you? I didn't. Now they say a nightmare scenario is upon us, and authorities are using the term mega drought to describe what's taking place. So what's taking place? Well, apparently the western U.S. continues to endure dry conditions, and now scientists are using the term mega drought to describe the problem, which has existed for decades with no end in sight. The latest U.S. Drought Monitor map released has such bad news that it's hard to believe. More than 265,000 square miles of territory is currently experiencing what they call exceptional drought conditions. All of Nevada, Utah, and New Mexico are in drought. Close behind them is Arizona at 98.9%, Colorado at 98.6%. More disturbing is the size of what's called the exceptional drought area, according to the U.S. Drought Monitor. Those are parts of Arizona, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, Colorado, California, and Texas classified that way. Total, 265,200 square miles. For comparison, that is nearly equivalent to the size of Texas. It'd be difficult to overstate the severity of this situation. In fact, the Wall Street Journal says that this drought is already, quote, one of the most severe on record in the Southwest. One of the most severe on record, as long as we've been keeping records. Approximately 40 million people depend on the water that flows through this area. And with so little snowpack this year, authorities really don't have any idea how they're going to make it through the summer. In February, Los Angeles, Phoenix, and Yuma did not have any measurable rainfall at all. Las Vegas, 0.01% inch of rain for the month. As winter ends, we'll move into a part of the year when many cities may not see any precipitation at all for months on end. So what's going to happen? Well, look at what happened last year. Las Vegas had a streak of 240 days from April to December 2020 without measurable rain, a trace or less, smashing the previous record of 150 consecutive days in 1959. Did you hear about that? Not the 1959 one, the 2020 one. Yuma, Arizona had a dry streak of 242 days last year, their third longest streak. Phoenix was dry a consecutive 110 days. Bishop and Needles, California, also had record dry streaks of over 200 days without measurable rainfall. Think about it. Why aren't they talking about it? We are in uncharted territory, these people tell us. And they tell us the droughts are just going to get worse. Where? something they call the Four Corners: Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah. Experts says when droughts like this happened long ago, the people living there just had to move. All of this is giving rise to dust storms, multi-vehicle accidents in Arizona. Scientists say it rivals the Dust Bowl days of the 1930s. Gannett Haller, an atmospheric scientist at the University of Utah who led the study, said, quote, "Our results suggest a tipping point is approaching where the conditions of the 1930s could return." Earlier this month, a storm front swept across the Great Plains of the United States, plowing up a wall of dust that could be seen from space, stretching from eastern Colorado into Nebraska and Kansas. Gary Esslinger, treasurer-manager of the District of Las Cruces, New Mexico, told the Wall Street Journal that his area's conditions are absolutely horrific. He said at least 33% of the 6,500 farmers in his region had taken offline 90,640 irrigable acres, say that 3 times fast, out of production from previous drought years. They have no idea what this year is going to bring. And according to them, it's absolutely horrific. You didn't think it could get worse, did you? Well, it did. And it can.